It's kind of funny because it literally was just the other day that I was watching Zack Snyder's Justice League for the 888th time. And of course, every single time I watch it, the more I realize that this is genuine peak fiction and there is a lot of really good things going on in here. Again, I'm a massive fan of that movie and I'm a massive fan of Man of Steel, but I am one of those guys that can admit that the Snyderverse, the DCEU, is unfortunately technically a pretty big failure that they of course stopped because, I mean, like the last 6 movies they made were more failures than my YouTube career at this point. But you know what? There's a situation where you guys can change that by subscribing to the channel, so my, channel's not as much of a failure. I'm getting a little bit off topic here. Where I'm trying to go with this is that the DCEU is no longer a thing, and James Gunn has been trying to cook with this new DCU, and we of course heard him announce a bunch of things like the Superman movie, which we've got some set leaks. It looks absolutely awesome, and we know the Supergirl movie with the beautiful, stunning Millie Alcock from Australia playing, Superman's cousin. We also have the Brave and the Bold film, which is going to be a new Batman film that focuses on the Bat family. Again, a ton of really awesome things here, but one thing we hadn't heard of was a Justice League film, but there is new reports saying that new information on this, a live-action Justice League, the New Frontier film written and directed by DC Studios CEO James Gunn, is reportedly in development. Again, it's being said that the new information from everything DCU is that James Gunn will write and direct a Justice League movie, and it will be about a modern adaptation of the New Frontier. Are you guys excited? Again, everyone's like, let it come from James Gunn, let's hear some confirmation, all this type of stuff. The thing is, we know that there's going to be a Justice League movie coming out probably within the next 5 years. And the reality is I think that James Gunn will be directing it and he will be writing it. Now, look, I don't really know much about the New Frontier. I'm going to be completely honest, but what I do know is we can absolutely trust James Gunn to cook and make a really good DCU movie that I think is going to knock the socks off everyone. Now, I think this will come at the end of all those movies I mentioned. Superman, Brave and the Bold, Supergirl, obviously the Lanterns TV show, etc., etc. I think we will get all of those origins for the superheroes and more before we do roll onto this movie. But it's also a situation where it's like, this is kind of interesting, the fact that we're going to be getting this Justice League film before a Superman sequel. So I have a feeling maybe with how his phases are going to go is, each phase there's a sequel to that potential film that does well. For example, phase 2 might have the Superman sequel, it might have the Brave and the Bold sequel, it might have the Supergirl sequel and a Justice League sequel. Stuff like that type things. So again, I think Superman 2 will come if Superman is successful, which by the looks of it, it will be. It looks like it's going to be an absolute top-notch movie. But I think James Gunn is going to want to make all these movies, this big solo project that all interconnect with each other, and then eventually it will lead on to a Justice League film. Again, we also know, I think he teased this a bit ago, when someone said if there was going to be a Batman and a Superman film, would you consider doing it and what would you name it? And he would actually title it World's Finest, which again is a comic book that has Superman and Batman coming together. So that would be, I mean, so peak. Much cooler than the dark Batman v Superman that we, got a bit ago. I think it will hopefully be a much better movie, and it would be really cool to see if that's in phase 2 or whatever they're going to be, if that actually does happen to be a film. But again, I'm very interested to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Don't forget to make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the latest gaming content, movie content, all the above. Subscribe to my sports channel and my IRL/vlogging channels as well. Links for them will be in the description down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.